Hi YouTube.
Hey YouTube friends and family, it's your boy GB Reviews, and today we are cooking a Green Chef inspired meal. And the reason I say Green Chef inspired, there were some delivery issues, and so I had to go out and buy all of the ingredients for the Green Chef meal. It was delivered to the wrong address by mistake. They credited me on my account. But the beauty of some of these delivery services is that they still give you access to the recipe card. And I really was looking forward to cooking this butter basted barramundi. So what I did is I actually gathered all the ingredients, but I made a substitution. And so instead of barramundi, which I like barramundi a lot, I was at Costco, and so I bought Chilean Sea Bass instead because they had it. And I was like, oh, this would be nice. And Chilean Sea Bass has a similar texture and feel to barramundi. And so I said, hey, I'm gonna cook Chilean Sea Bass. So we're substituting Chilean Sea Bass. I'm gonna go through all the ingredients. I show you exactly what I had to do in terms of getting the ingredients from the recipe card. The recipe card, like I said, is available through the website. So even if you, for some reason, you miss a meal because it was delivered to the wrong address, they still give you access to the cards. And so that means that I can go through and cook the meals. I'll have to make a few adjustments because the recipe that we're doing today, the butter basted barramundi, calls for 5 ounces of barramundi. I'm instead cooking 1.5 pounds of Chilean sea bass. Chilean sea bass is massive. It's nice though. And this meal is gonna take about 30 minutes all in all. I preheated my oven to 425, so make sure you preheat your oven to 425. And it's 2 servings, about 180 calories. Well, this will be a little bit more just because of the fish, but fish calories, I don't really worry about too much because it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So we're gonna go through the ingredients. I'm gonna show you just really quickly. I'm not even gonna show you from the top. So we have our pound of barramundi, or excuse me, of Chilean sea bass. You need 1 orange. You need Feta, quinoa, which is about 1/2 cup of quinoa. I have an oregano-garlic powder mix that I had to mix up. We have white balsamic vinegar. You can use red balsamic vinegar. We're using white balsamic vinegar. And I had to get dried beets, which is easy to get from your local grocery store. This I actually got from Costco, but they have it at Sam's Club too. So depending on where you live, Sam's Club, Costco, BJ's, it's kind of hit or miss if you find like barramundi or Chilean sea bass. This is 5.5 ounces of red beets. You also need, for your thing that they would have sent you, but we don't have it, you need Dijon mustard. So luckily I have Dijon mustard in the house. You need 1 scallion, and that's it. I think we're gonna be good to go. We're gonna get it all started. You need, you need a small pot with a lid, like a rice pot. And that's to make your quinoa in. You're gonna need a medium nonstick pan. You're gonna need a baking sheet. We're gonna need mixing bowls, and we're gonna need measuring cups and spoons. So I'm gonna go through all the steps so that you know what to do. Then we're gonna do everything high speed. And then in 30 minutes, we should be done. There's not a lot of chopping and cutting this time. A lot of things are already prepared. The only thing I probably will do is, instead of cooking this as 1 solid piece, I'm gonna cut this into 2 halves just to make it easier to cook and to make sure that it's like thoroughly cooked. But anyway, with that, let's get at it. All right, so we're going through the steps for this meal. And like I said, it's actually pretty easy to do. The first step is we're gonna do the roasting and the baking of the beets. That's what's gonna take the longest time. They're already dried out a little bit. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover them, drizzle them with cooking oil. I'm gonna use olive oil, and we're gonna put them on the baking sheet with a pinch of salt and pepper. If you do it in a bowl, it's actually easier to coat them because we're making them, it's almost gonna like they're gonna be like chips, which is kind of cool. And then we're gonna thinly slice our scallion. We're gonna discard the root end, as always. You wanna get rid of that. You wanna separate the whites and the greens, which is common. We're gonna zest half of the orange because we want orange zest. If you don't have a microplane zester, you can use the small holes on a grater to do the zesting. And then we're gonna cut the top and the bottom off the orange, and we're gonna lay it flat. And then we're gonna remove the peel. and then we're gonna cut into wedges. So we're gonna remove this part, the peel, and we're gonna cut it into wedges. The next step is we're gonna cook our quinoa. So you wanna heat about 1 tablespoon of cooking oil in a small pot over medium heat. We're gonna add the scallion, we're gonna add the white quinoa to it, and then the white end of the scallions. And we're gonna combine that. We're gonna toast that for about 1.5 minutes. Remember, quinoa, we're gonna toast it first. Then we're gonna add a cup of water. We're gonna bring it to a boil, reduce it to medium-low heat. We're gonna cover it, and then you just let that sit for about 16 to 18 minutes until your quinoa is pretty tender and the water's been absorbed. And then you're gonna remove from heat and you'll let it rest. We'll fluff it out. And then we're gonna make a vinaigrette. What you're gonna do for your vinaigrette is we're gonna place our white balsamic vinegar and 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a small bowl, and we're gonna use we're gonna put some Dijon mustard in it. We don't have the Dijon mustard tube. They would normally give you like a vial of mustard, use half of it. So you wanna just mix it in. You'll notice as when you can whisk it together with salt and pepper, you'll notice it's starting to get thicker, but you don't want it to be too thick. So we're gonna make a balsamic vinaigrette with Dijon. Your last step is we're gonna cook our fish. So when we open this, we're gonna pat our Chilean sea bass dry. So anytime you take it out of a package, it's gonna have a bit of moisture, and you just wanna pat it dry. You don't have to do anything else. You're gonna put it down. We're gonna season it with our oregano powder, garlic mix. We're gonna season that. And then we're gonna heat about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a medium nonstick pan over medium heat. So again, you don't wanna put your fish on high heat because it'll burn. And then we're gonna cook it for 4 to 8 minutes on the skin side down. So you're gonna put the skin side down, 4 to 8 minutes. Then you're gonna flip it. You're gonna reduce the heat to low. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of butter. We're gonna cook, now we're cooking the flesh side, 4 to 8 minutes or until it's fully cooked. We're gonna be basting it with butter the whole time because remember it's low heat, so it shouldn't be burning. Basting it with butter the whole time. It'll be fully cooked when you check the internal temperature, and the internal temperature is about 145. And it should flake off easily. We're gonna remove that from the heat. We're gonna sprinkle it with orange zest. It's to taste, so you may not like orange zest. If you don't like orange zest, don't put a lot. If you like it, I like orange zest, just like I like lemon zest. And then we're going to let that sit. And then we're gonna get our beets that we had. We're gonna return that, and we're gonna put the orange segments in there. We're gonna put the beets in a bowl. We're gonna put the feta cheese in there. We're gonna drip in our vinaigrette that we've made with the Dijon, salt and pepper to taste. We're gonna toss it, and then we're gonna plate it. And then that's it. Super easy, super simple. Again, this is how you improvise when you have kind of changes in the plan that you don't know about. So everything from this moment on is gonna be high speed until we talk at the end. So let's get at it, and good luck with the meal. And we're done. Pretty simple, about 30 minutes. All the parts, if you add them all up, it probably adds up to like 40 minutes. Only because even though it's 30 minutes of total time, the things go in stages. So you have to heat your oven and all this other stuff. But all in all, it turned out well. So we have our orange zest coated oregano sea bass, which would have been Barramundi if we had ordered it from Green Chef. I put all these ingredients together. The oranges turned out well. And if you notice, the oranges are actually now, they look like grapefruits almost because of the beets. We made a beet salad. We made a salad dressing. And then we put it all on a bed of couscous. Now we're gonna try it, see what it tastes like. I think the meal is actually fairly easy to make. The difference between Barramundi and sea bass, the sea bass is a little bit thicker. So what I had to do is I had to cook it about 3 to 5 minutes longer, just because you want to make sure you get the internal temperatures right, because if not, while it's not bad eating cold fish, you don't really want to eat cold fish. So let's see how everything turned out. And this is the taste test. So let's start with the salad. The salad was the easiest. I think, you put your beets in the oven and then you added all your other ingredients with the feta. So let's see what it tastes like. This is nice. It tastes Mediterranean, I guess because of the feta. And it also tastes like a summer salad because of the beets and the oranges. That's a nice blend. I like that, and I would probably actually recreate that or make that again during the summer months. It's just an easy salad. It's nice. And if you're having people over, it's a good taste. Let's go with the fish, see what we're getting into. My fish is nice and flaky. If you look at that, it's nice and flaky. It's thoroughly cooked and it should be seasoned properly. The butter basting gives it a nice texture, like a crust on it. You can taste the butter that's been infused into the fish. I don't know why you'd go out to a restaurant to buy sea bass unless you just don't like cooking. I find that now that I'm cooking more non-traditional things in the kitchen, things that I normally go to a restaurant to get, I realize like I enjoy it, and it's actually, I can probably make it healthier than it would come in the restaurant in many instances. This is good. The quinoa, I like the quinoa, but, and this is my issue, I erred on the side of putting less salt when I was cooking it. And so now my quinoa is more bland. It's more like grits that are unseasoned. And so when I'm eating quinoa, I like the quinoa to be a little bit more salty, I guess. But you can add salt to taste, so that's not really an issue. It's just an issue right now because I'm eating this. But anyway, we're about to finish eating this. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for rocking with me. Please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification bell so you can see when I put out other meals. And also, please let me know if there's things in the comments that you want me to cook. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't, please subscribe. And again, thanks for rocking with me. So subscribe and like below. Sea bass at home. We're out.
Subscribe, but like below.